Have you ever stopped to think about who your neighbor is? Now, I'm not talking about the person that literally lives next door. I'm talking about the neighbor that Jesus was speaking of in the parable of the Good Samaritan. You see, Jesus was talking to a man and told him that he should love God and love his neighbor. Now, the man asked the obvious question of Jesus, who is my neighbor? The man wanted to know who he had to love. What was Jesus' answer? Frankly, everyone. So who's around you that you can share the gospel with? You see, every one of us is placed in the spot that we are for a very specific reason, and that's to be a light. God has given you certain talents and interests so that you can be a light and you can bring people to saving faith in Jesus. What do you like to do? Is there a group that you're involved in or an interest that you have that you could use to tell people about Jesus? Maybe you don't belong to a specific group per se, but you do go to the same coffee shop every morning. Well, you see, that's an opportunity to share the gospel. Whatever your thing may be, you can shine the light of Jesus to those around you while you're doing it. You see, if you never step out of your comfort zone, if you never talk with anyone, then you're never going to share the gospel and you'll never have the chance to lead someone else to Christ. I'm sure you've heard the quote that says, preach the gospel at all times, and if necessary, use words. It's a nice sentiment, perhaps, but you see, words are, in fact, necessary. Now, your actions do matter too. In many cases, they speak louder than words, so make sure that you're truly living out your faith. Don't be hypocritical, saying one thing and then doing another. However, you should absolutely share the gospel, the story of how Jesus changed your life with others. Don't depend on your actions to get people to heaven. Let the Holy Spirit speak the gospel through you. This means that words are very necessary. Now, you might be thinking, John, I don't want to make people around me uncomfortable. I'd rather just live a nice, quiet, attractive life than to bring Jesus, heaven, and hell up in a conversation. Well, aren't you glad that Jesus didn't keep quiet, but instead spoke words of truth? Aren't you glad that the person who shared the gospel with you didn't keep quiet, but in fact shared? Jesus made sure to speak truth and love everywhere that he went, and you can too. The Lord has made you just the way that you are so that you can share his story with others right where you are. This means at the gym, at your book club, at the coffee shop, on the basketball court. Maybe you should volunteer for a nonprofit so that you can tell people that you work alongside why you serve others to share the love of Jesus. Wherever you are, make room for the gospel and watch the Lord move mightily. This is our focus this week at Evangelism Explosion. Through all of our social media channels and our daily broadcast, we have resources to help you share your faith in your community. Visit sharelife.today for a free digital download questionnaire that will help you more easily share the gospel. May God richly bless you this week as you learn to tell your community about Christ.